Sorry,
Is
I love the idea of the programme, and one sort of question I would have at the minute is, we've got a large number of people that's kind of looking at the absolute, against the other pole, which is you have a large number of people, and we've actually got a capturing system which we've kind of developed in-house. People can put their ideas or push their ideas forward. We've only opened that up to a small section, so 100 people so far are able to put ideas in. When we allow the other 400 to then begin to add their ideas, because we're struggling even trying to capture and then somehow evaluate the ideas that are currently there. Now we're going to have sort of 4 or 5 times that. What experience do you have of that? And
well, I mean, it can be rolled out in a number of ways depending upon the organisation. What some people do is try and roll it out in divisions and then replicate it across. So it depends on the makeup of those people. I mean, the assessment, we would always envisage the assessment being done with your sort of your senior management team, your middle manager, and also staff on the ground, because you get a very different idea from them about how innovative they think the company is. When it comes to specifics like ideas management, we need to look at, you know, who those people are. Is everybody involved? Is it worth? I mean, some people go down the innovation champion route where you actually nominate certain people from within different divisions to be accountable for that. But the programme can be rolled out as a whole like that, depending on the makeup of the organisation and how you think you get most value from it, really.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I think the scheme does, it allows the conversation to take place. Because one of the things that I would say to you is, in our experience, whenever you get ideas coming forward, the worst people to ask to process those ideas is the senior management team, because they become the bottleneck. Because all these people come up with these wonderful ideas, they then start to say, oh my goodness me, I've got 100 ideas, like how on earth are we going to do this? The whole thing slows up, bottlenecks, the people get really disappointed, they lose their interest. What you've got to move towards to do is a series of ideas committees made up of the people themselves, set against criteria to help them make informed decisions, give them resources of time and some money to award to what they consider to be the strongest ideas. And you need to create this sort of infrastructure for processing these ideas. SMT, the management can watch from a distance, keep a check on things, and sweep up the stuff that maybe, you know, might fall between the cracks. But the only way to manage 500 people all putting ideas into the system is to have a series of employee-led committees to manage this. And then as it goes through the process, when you develop them into concepts and proposals, you then start to bring in managers at different levels to bring that business acumen and that bigger picture context. And at the same time, therefore, you're reducing the risk, and you're only employing the additional resources on the stronger ideas, rather than tying up senior managers on 100. They're only looking at the 15 of the strongest ones. But the process, I think, is really neat because it enables conversations like this to go on. So the PwC experts who come in, this is the type of things they'll be chatting to you, and then you can design what you think is appropriate for you to improve your processes. And I think there's great value in it, but that's how I would approach this specific question you asked. How do you manage all these ideas?
yeah, I mean, as I say, we are trying to somehow screen downwards to a certain number, and then maybe a business case come, and that goes to the senior team. But we also have to try and segment, because, you know, say you might have 10, we could say that we could allow 10 ideas or 10 projects can happen for packaging. 10 projects can happen for development, 10 projects can happen for, you know, something else. Simply because you can't, you know, everybody has packaging ideas. So 95% of your ideas come for packaging, especially in the industry that I would work in. And the other 5% are technical, if you like. So already there's a large drain on resource from the packaging experts who have to try and evaluate that idea. So in some ways we're trying to do it, but maybe not kind of formalising it exactly right now. So that's something.
Or some people use an incentive scheme. You know, other companies have used some form of, rather than one group having to do all the evaluation, if it's done more locally and there's an incentive for an idea that could potentially generate X, it gets some of the thinking back to the original idea generator.
But it's just fascinating conversations,
Yeah.
and this is, I think, part of what's thrown up by the whole thing, which makes it quite focused. It's not a program, Julia said it, it's not a program we're trying to sell to people. It actually becomes a tool that actually helps you because of the way in which it's done. So I think it's a little bit different to whatever else you see around the place. I know she alluded to that earlier on, but I genuinely believe that it is a program that's done to you. It's an approach to innovation that I think will help, and I genuinely believe that it's not just trying to sell something. I think
And
we've got something
It's
which is
great that
different.
you've made a start on that, because a lot of
Yeah.
companies haven't, and their idea generation process is a bit ad hoc and a bit haphazard. So, to actually be thinking that way is a really positive thing.
Any other questions? Conscious is 5 to 10, so we're coming up to our planned finish time.
Yeah, so just one question around how you adjudicate what qualifies as, spend, which is innovative or R&D.
This is one for Ian, I think.
Yeah, so you could have an employee. I mean, there's loads of examples of areas where we're innovating in R&D, and some of which might be 70% of someone's time and 30% not. Is there some way to identify what qualifies as R&D related dollars in some way, somehow not?
Yeah, capturing it's the hardest thing, and you have different types of company. One company that just said I'm not doing R&D when they are, so they don't make a claim. You have other companies that just
Doing R&D but claim.
well, they don't really make claims. There are companies then that they're not maximising it because they haven't captured it. So we've developed a number of different methodologies that we work with depending on the size of the company and depending what controls you have. Like for example, if PwC were doing R&D, it would be really easy to capture the time because we do daily timesheets.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking. We probably need to some discipline on that.
Yeah, but it's not the revenue don't request it. The revenue don't say you have to have a timesheet, so you have to be able to back that up. When it comes to a tax return, the person that signs the return has to say that they're standing over it. This was a fair estimate of somebody's time, and sometimes it just comes down to that. How much time did I think I spent on that? Sometimes you might have Gantt charts.
And we would have time sheets, I'm sure that we could rely on.
Yeah.
So just one final question. So this is UK wide, it's the UK government is paying the tax, so it's not necessarily just a Northern Ireland thing.
It's not a Northern Ireland thing. It's UK. This is David Cameron's government now. This is the UK wide R&D tax relief.
David Cameron and Nick Clegg.
Coalition government.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I thought that was an interesting point that
Yeah.
Ian raised, that it's not going to
It's actually
disappear
quite
as
a
part
relevant
of the
point.
austerity.
It's a very relevant point.
Very relevant. It's going to
Because,
keep
if you're
it.
signing the tax return,
Mm-hmm.
so how do you justify it?
And some of it, where R&D can get really exciting and where you can even increase the claims. You can have people in different jurisdictions doing R&D on behalf of you can have a UK company, but you can
So
have
this is a
people
question we're going to have with you afterwards. If I take Sienna Europe, for
Yeah.
example, we have Sienna UK, Sienna Germany, Sienna France, Sienna whatever.
Yeah.
The Sienna UK is probably less than 500 people,
Yeah.
and that's a corporation in its own right, and it's its own profit and loss. So would the claim be adjudicated as an SME in that instance, even though we're part of a conglomerate which is way more than 500 people?
Yeah, the way it works is you look in terms of the hierarchy of the companies, and you can go below and you can go up. So really you take in the worldwide group number in terms of employees. So you're over the 500s, you're in the large company scheme.
Even though Sienna UK is where we would be making the tax claim.
Yeah, even though
Maybe less.
but then Sienna UK, so they're in the large company scheme. You start off by looking at the size, and you also take into account turnover and balance sheet as well. But the number of employees is the first one, and you're in that scheme. You then look at other things. Is there other parent companies, subsidiaries, do they have employees? And you go into different schemes. So for your company, it would be a large company claim, but you can still claim. There's things that can be done that employees outside of the UK could be doing R&D and still be claiming as part of the UK return.
Yeah, interesting.